They call this lock Cow Shit Lock because all the cows go over the bridge there and it's covered in cow dung. That's brilliant, that, isn't it?
Morning. Before we set off this morning, I just want to show you this. I got this map from Minimalist at the Crick Boat Show. You can buy them online, and what I love about it is you can colour in all the different places where you've been, and there's actually over 2,000 miles of connected navigable waterways. And these days I like to just potter around, go slow and explore all the local villages and areas. But back in the days when I used to be doing like 18 to 20 festivals a year, I was racing all around the country. One minute I'll be in Skipton and have to shoot all the way down to get to Birmingham, back up. I was doing 10-hour days just riding the festivals, and I much prefer how I'm doing it these days, just taking my time.
So the old girl started all right, so that's a good start to today.
So I've had little Bonny nearly 2 months now, but I still don't feel confident having her outside on the roof with me whilst I'm single-handing locks. But she's okay inside the boat for now. We'll get there eventually.
And we're off. Yeah, I've loved it here. It's been absolutely brilliant.
So I stayed around Great Haywood for about 2 weeks and it was a fantastic little place. However, being a continuous cruiser, we can't stay for more than 2 weeks. So today it's moving day and onwards with a new adventure.
Can't see around this bend here. Overgrown bushes, but this is such a gorgeous part of the world. Wow. Stunning scenery. So tight round here, it really is. Oh, it's like we've lost half the canal due to the overgrownness. Yeah, big bush. So I'm not moving too far today, probably just a couple of hours cruise and maybe one lock. The thing is, when you live aboard full time as a continuous cruiser and you still work, I can't, go cruising every single day. I tend to cruise once or twice a week in between working. I've got to earn money, but normally in a year I tend to do about 250 to 300 miles.
But some of that might be going back down the same canal.
But it's an amazing life. I absolutely adore it. Oh. So it's the first lock of the day and it's empty. So I'm just going to have a quick look and make sure no boat's coming up, and then I'll have to fill it. There's a boat coming in now. They call this lock Cow Shit Lock because all the cows go over the bridge there and it's covered in cow dung. That's brilliant, that, isn't it? Have a good trip.
As a solo boater, I do find it easier going down. Don't be rude! Down in the locks. However, you do have to watch the sill when you are going down. But whether you're going up or down, you still have to go back and shut your gates.
Single-handing, it's wonderful, but it is slow. I mean, I'm not in any rush. But yeah, it's slower and it's knackering. Yeah, cheers! So I love all the quirky names of narrowboats. They're fantastic, and you can rename a narrowboat. It's not like the seagoing vessels with all the folklores and the bad luck and the superstitions. You can rename them. I renamed this one. When I first got it, it was called Heather B. And I thought, that's not very piratey. So I renamed it the Rum Wench. But there's all sorts of superstitions about how you go about it. Some say you need to keep part of the old boat inside it, like part of the name. Other people say you've got to walk round the boat on dry land 3 times, chanting some rhyme. So I did a sort of mixture of both. Basically, I walked around the gunnels 3 times, naked, and then threw some rum over the bow. Yeah, that was her naming ceremony. No, I didn't really. But I did throw the rum over the bow.
I really do love looking at all the boat names.
Hi Heidi! Hello, ahoy! We love your video. Oh, thank you. Another one of my favourite bridges coming up here. Have a look. So if you got a narrowboat and you could call it anything you wanted, what would you call it and why? Let me know in the YouTube comments. It'd be fascinating, that. So I was going to moor up here, but it's so overgrown I can't jump off. You know, it's different if there's 2 of you. One can, you know, sort of have the boat, the other one can sort of jump off. But because I'm on my own, if I try and jump through that, I could fall down a hole, I could break my leg, I could sting me foo-foo, anything can happen. Oh! Yes, I need to sort of find a different mooring. But it's a bloody shame because it's gorgeous here. Nice mooring, there's sheep in the field, there's lots of sunshine, there's not any big overhanging trees. So it would have been perfect. But it's a death-defying leap.
Thankfully it wasn't too long before I saw a nice bit of trimmed bush.
So I've just got myself all moored up here and it's late in the day now. It took me a lot longer than I thought it would to get here, about nearly 4 hours. But I do pootle along and I am single-handing them locks. But it's a lovely little place. It's the only place I could get in because of all the overgrown bushes. But it's nice here. There's a lovely view there. I'll hopefully get solar all the time. And there is a nice little aqueduct. I don't think we're too far from Rugeley. I think that's a short cruise away. But yeah, it's lovely. This is where we're going to stay for now. So I'm trying to teach Bonny to leave it because she's a little bit of a bugger. When we go outside with big dogs, she's launching at them and everything. And I thought if I go back to the basics like sit, stay, leave, then hopefully that will pass on to a training when we're outside. Yeah, it's a bit of fun. It's going to take some time. But we've got loads of time, haven't we? No. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. She's been very good. No. Oh. So this is Kathy and Graham Westgate, and they have just stopped by to meet little Bonny, and they've also just brought me. Look at that!
I know you do like your specials, but
yeah, and that's gorgeous. Thank you very much. Bonny, what's this? She's so clever.
So I'm currently walking now over this amazing little aqueduct, and for those that don't know, an aqueduct is like a bridge that carries water, and this is carrying the Trent Mersey Canal over the River Trent down below. And this aqueduct is called Brindley Place Aqueduct, and it was built by James Brindley, hence its name. But it does have a little bit of a sordid history around it in this area, and I'll tell you about that in just a moment. So I hope you're sitting comfortably. Have you got yourselves a drink? So back on the 15th of June in 1839, a young lady called Christina Collins was on her way on a narrowboat from Liverpool to London to meet up with her husband. He was down there looking for work. Anyway, she never made it, and her body was found here at the aqueduct. So Christina Collins was raped and murdered, and these steps are known as the Blooded Steps. I mean, obviously they're not the original steps now. It was a long, long time ago, and these are modern concrete. However, they're still known as the Blooded Steps to this day. And then sometime later, two guys that she was travelling with were later arrested for her rape and murder, and they were hanged. Wow. So yeah, so she was travelling just innocently off to see her husband on a narrowboat down to London, and that happens. You see, a little bit of a history for you there. Bless her. So little Bonnie is getting so much confidence every single day. However, she's still quite reactive to bigger dogs. So I've tried everything. I've been watching loads of YouTube videos. I've been getting emails from behaviourists. I've been talking to people on the phone. But today I've actually booked an appointment with an actual behaviourist, because obviously I live a very outdoor life and we're always outside. So I want little Bonnie to be happy. She loves going for a walk. She does get stressed when there's dogs about. So we're going to try and see if we can make progress in trying to fix that. Because Bonnie isn't really socialised and she's launching at the dogs and barking like mad, after they've left she is very stressed. So this is the reason why I've done this today.
Good dog, Bonnie. So we've got,
She hasn't noticed.
yeah, but that's okay initially.
Right.
And when she does notice, Bonnie! Yes, good girl, really nice, that's really good. What a good girl. Oh wow.
So I'm with Jim, I say personal trainer, is Bonnie's behaviourist, and yeah, she's doing great, isn't she?
She's doing fantastic, she's a really nice little dog.
We're just finding techniques now that'll work with Bonnie and her situations, and she's progressing really well.
She's doing fantastic. Come on then. Oh wow, what a clever girl. Yeah. Good dog. Where are we going? This way now. Got control still, so
Yeah.
we're still getting there.
So we've got a dog just over here now, and Bonnie's been really good.
Good, Bonnie, that's nice. Good stuff. This way. Go on, Bonnie.
What we're doing is distracting Bonnie from the other dog.
And then we use the tree as well to... Come on then. Bonnie.
Yeah,
She went...
yeah. We got too close then, didn't we?
Move away, that's fine.
Yeah. Come on, Bonnie. She's not barking though.
Yeah. She's left.
Oh, good girl. Yeah.
Bonnie.
Oh, yeah, good girl.
Just to prove us wrong on camera. There's a good time.
Yeah. Good girl, Bonnie. Fantastic.
Where's it gone? Where's it gone?
So it's basically then we just kept little Bonnie distracted whilst the guy was walking his dog around this little space, and it worked really, really well. Yeah. So we're gonna get there.
Gone now. Gone now, aren't they? That's it. There's no worrying needed. It takes practice. Lots of patience with it. It will work. it just distracts him when she's seeing them, and she'll be the perfect dog before you know it. I'm sure she will.
So I've just had a 2-hour session with Jim and it has gone absolutely fantastic. He's taught me and Bonnie so many tips and tricks to use on our walks, especially on the narrow towpaths. I mean, it's going to take some time, but I'm feeling really confident. We've just passed 2 dogs and his techniques, they worked fantastic. So I'm hoping now in the future, I'm looking forward to trying it every day, 3 or 4 times a day, to get Bonnie to be happy and not reactive and not stressed out. Yeah, so I'm really, really loving it. I feel so brilliant now. Yay! So me and Bonnie have just got in from a walk. We've had a fantastic walk. She's been off the lead, playing stick and that. Because the thing is, outside the boat, it's quite narrow. So we're having to have a little walks and adventures to find open spaces. So she's been doing really well. I'll come back to my boat and this was on the roof. And I've had a little look inside. And it's little treats for Bonnie. I'll just show you now. So there's this, a nice big tough and tasty, big bone. Oh, people are so kind, aren't they? They really are. There's some nice little treats for her. There's a toy. Oh, just people. It's like somebody going past at the moment. We've got a ball, and this ball, you put treats in it. Oh, you're liking that, aren't you, Bonnie? Look how excited she is. Oh, so there's no note, there's no anything. I have no idea who they're from. So I just want to say a massive thank you. So I found out who Bonnie's toys were from. It was a lady called Michelle. She messaged me on Instagram, so thank you very much, Michelle. And I've just had a guy now, Mark. He just dropped me off a bottle of rum, so thank you. Cheers, thank you very much. Woo.
But it's a really horrible day today. It's not stopped drizzling all day. But it didn't stop us going off and doing a bit of dogging.
So this is Andrew and Jackie, and they've stopped by my boat to give me some shot glasses. Look at these. Look at them.
Absolutely perfect.
So this is Debbie and Colin off Narrowboat Round to It.
Hello.
And I met these guys first of all in Chester a few years ago.
The boating community is just so lovely, and I was told to come back to this boat after me and Bonnie's walk because Deb had just baked a cake.
Lemon drizzle cake.
Oh, I love that for my
with
tea.
a gin topping.
Oh, lovely. Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Yeah, lovely. This is from Narrowboat Round to It. Thank you very much. Woohoo! So I've just had my dinner and I have been waiting all day long to be able to try this cake. Yeah, hours. Anyway, the best thing to have with cake is, yes, a rum. Woohoo! Let's get a big rum poured. Look at that. Woohoo! Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much. It's very, very moist.
So this is today's rum. It's quite a weird and wonderful one. It's cherry and salted caramel, and I've never seen it anywhere before. And I got this from Captain Glenn, and Captain Glenn always sends me quite weird and wonderful, rare bottles of rum. So thank you, Captain Glenn. And it was his birthday on Sunday. So cheers. Woohoo! Happy birthday. Anyway, I'm going to take you lot in the rear entrance. So here we are in the back cabin, little Bonny's there. Oh, just so you know, lots of people have been asking, where's Rosie and Jim? Well, they're still in the videos, you just got to look for them. They're just not in their usual place. They move around like little dolls do. Anyway, here's the little rum, and in this amazing glass. Wow, I love this glass, look at it. Woohoo, look at them. Yeah, and what I love best about them boobs is you can put your finger right just underneath and it's perfect for tipping up and down. Don't be rude. Anyway, cheers everyone. Cheers, Captain Glenn. Oh, bloody lovely. Anyway, just before we read the 2 ditties, I've got 2 ditties for you today. Before we read them, I just want to say a little bit about Bonny. The training's going absolutely fabulous, and I'm using positive reinforcement, and the behaviourist was all about that as well. Lots of people have been saying you need to say no, you need to show you the alpha and all that. Well, not at this stage. At this stage, we're working with her very gently, getting her to feel loved, feel good, and it's working. She's doing really well, and if obviously that doesn't work, then we'll try something else. But at the moment, positive reinforcement all the way. And just before we read the first ditty, I just want to say a massive shout out to this week's pirate crew. Thank you so much for everything you do. It really does help. I can't describe it. It really does help me. So thank you so much, and thank you to everyone else who's watching and liking these videos. Anyway, this first ditty is from Michelle Savor, and it goes a little something like this. Heidi adopted Bonny, or did Bonny adopt Heidi? It doesn't really matter, as neither is the master. Just cuddle and a kiss is never amiss. They'll be together happy ever after. Oh, thank you very much. And then we've got another one. It's a little bit naughty. And this is from Pat and Dave on Narrowboat Freebird. With a thrust of her cutlass and a swing of her hips, cruising in winter perks up her nips. And now she's got Bonny, but sadly no Clyde. At least her little growler is cosy inside. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, so if you enjoyed this week's video, please do give it a big thumbs up. It really helps. Subscribe down below. And before I go, don't forget to let me know what you would call a narrowboat and why. Yeah, leave it in the YouTube comments. Anyway, that's it. So please stay safe, take care. I'll see you next week, and not forgetting my amazing, lovely, loyal patrons. Take care, guys.